Hello, darlings. This is Christina at Makeup Box FYI, and today we're going to talk about a subject that we all can use more of. So, you know that my Makeup Box channel is more than just beauty. It's about beauty inside as well as outside, but the inside really, I would say, is more important than the outer. And regardless of your aesthetic beauty, what's inward is going to be the thing that radiates, that people recognize and are drawn to in regards to your kindness, your love, your heart. So that's what this channel is about. So you're going to see that I will have a plethora of these type of videos as well as my makeup videos. I'm trying to carve a little space out that's just mine for you. So this video is about 3 ways to have a more peaceful mindset in a world full of chaos. So my first tip is from the Greek philosopher Heraclitus, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he made a statement that is pretty much the drum of the beat of my life. And he stated, change is the only consistent in life. And truly, that is the only consistent. We are not in control of a lot in our lives. And so change makes that very evident. So the first mindset that will give you peace is accepting that change is constant. We have seen over the last few years the excessive amount of change. And initially it's very jarring because you're trying to find your footing and everything keeps changing. You don't know how to exactly rest and be at peace. What if we changed our minds to be ready and accepting for whatever is next to come, knowing that any and everything at some point can and will change? To accept change and learn to flow as best you can with those changes. The second, acknowledge and be prepared. Batman, yes, from the comic book, made a very poignant statement that my uncle actually pointed out to me one time. And he said, in preparation lies the victory. And there's no truer statement that's ever been spoken by a comic hero. The truth is, oftentimes we are defeated not because of our inability, but due to our lack of preparation. One of the things that eats away at our joy is being ill prepared for those changing tides that are soon to come. We need to be aware of those areas in our life that keep us from reaching our full peace potential. The first thing we need to do is take a self-inventory. We need to assess our well-being and be aware of those pitfalls that we have experienced in the past. For myself, I know my propensity to be a little impulsive. So I set boundaries for myself. And I take the steps to not only check this behavior, but manage it as well. Whether it's giving myself a budget in a particular area, or talking it over with my husband, or anyone to keep me accountable. That's what I do to set those boundaries so that I don't go to the place that I know I'm capable. I know my pitfalls, and because of that, I have a plan and I keep it in check. And you can do this in every area of your life. Every area you can make a plan for those parts of yourself that you're not experiencing your full potential. Anger problems, self-esteem issues, procrastination, anger issues, financial goals, you name it. If you can name it, you can identify it, and then you can make a plan to keep it in check. My third tip, get yourself a mentor. A report came out in 2021 on CNBC that less than 51% of Americans have less than 3 months worth of emergency savings. 25% had no emergency savings, and 26% say they had some emergency savings, but not enough to cover expenses for 3 months. The pandemic showed us how financially shaky and unstable Americans really were. We were one paycheck away from being in poverty. And that's the truth. And it's a sombering truth. I myself suffer from poor mindsets about money for much of my adult life. I was not taught how to budget or properly use credit cards or even save. We learned how to live day by day, week by week, month by month, and just get by. And while I grew up middle class, much of my childhood we struggled. And I took that mindset into my marriage and created an avalanche of financial distress. Now, of course, things that I couldn't control did come into play in some of that. However, I didn't make the situation better because I had no understanding or any wisdom of how to utilize money properly. And I didn't realize my propensity to spend when I was emotionally distressed. It wasn't until we had our second child and I took a good hard look at our finances and I realized that I want to do something about our debt and I want to be able to save and do things, I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. And so I reached out to my mom-in-law, and she's great at budgeting and saving. So I asked for her wisdom. And so I just leaned in and allowed her to teach me. I just sat under her and I just absorbed all her wisdom. And so that really has changed my mindset. I now see myself as a saver. And if I do use credit cards, I use them strategically, not to purchase things that I have no intention of paying off at the end of the month. And it's a total different shift for me, but that is now my identity. But it took years and it took effort and it took time to develop this skill. But it wouldn't have happened had I not been able to sit under someone who had already developed the skill that I was looking to achieve or attain. And I have a mentor for every area of my life. I have a mentor for my spiritual life. I have a mentor for my marital life. As a mother, I have mentors for various things. And not all of them are people that I'm in direct contact with. Mentors can also be authors, people who have written books, who have put in their life into written word to be helpful to you. My suggestion, of course, if there is someone in your immediate circle who's a safe space, I would lean into them and ask them for wisdom. If they have a skill or they have acquired something that you yourself are wanting to attain, find that person. But if there's no one in your circle, then look for books, look for authors, look for audibles. And you can do this at the library. You don't have to necessarily spend money on it if you don't have the ability to do so right now. There is access and you are able to tap into it. If you want it, you can get it. You can get freedom of mindsets and debilitating ways that do not bring you closer to your full potential. So if there's a skill you lack that you want to improve upon, you go find that mentor, someone who has done what you are trying to do and has come out on the other side successful. Find them in your circle, find them in books. And I promise it will be life-changing. The most important thing is that once you sit under any of your mentors, most important thing is to take action. There's no point in sitting and listening and absorbing the information if you have no intention of utilizing it. And I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight. It's going to take trial and error, and it may take years to actually cultivate and improve upon. But little by little, you will develop the skill and you'll stop feeling like you're trying and you will feel like you are being, like that is your natural state of being, your identity in all intents and purpose. But I promise that trying and attempting to put these skills to use, once you achieve them, will bring you so much peace, so much freedom, because those places that you aren't reaching your potential, you are now reaching your full potential. And there's nothing better than you feeling like you are at an optimum place with yourself. All right, darlings, well, I hope that this helped. Like I said, it's not an overnight success, but what in life is, it's a journey. So love your journey, reach your potential, and find your peace. All right, have a blessed day. Happy Monday, and I'll see you guys in the next.